the spiritual journey is not something we choose. I don't choose to be a spiritual practitioner. By showing up in this world, I don't have a choice but to be a spiritual practitioner. There's a set of rules that apply to everyone. And underneath any layer that I clean, I just meet another layer that's a bit more subtle, yet it's as shocking as as the one before it. It's like, oh no.
Another round.
I refined myself, so now this one doesn't have, but now I'm refined, so something that I didn't even notice before is like, oh my God.
Thank you. So today I'm sitting down with an amazing presence, which I can tell from the encounters that I witnessed, his creations, your concerts, your singing circles, and someone who seems to know something about leadership, probably, about vocal freedom and liberation, and who carries a sense of embodied masculinity as well, which seems to draw other men into your aura, into your field. So I just feel he has something that I want to learn about. So thanks for coming, Uria Tsur. Welcome.
My pleasure. Thank you, Yoshka, for inviting me. I really appreciate this time in the midst of all this tour and moving around, to have a moment of just an invitation for presence.
Yeah.
I already feel arrived.
Give us an insight. Where are you this weekend? What's the project and what is Vocal Freedom about?
So this is a Sunday, April 12th, and we're concluding a 3-day Vocal Freedom workshop with 80 people at the Emmaus Church in the center of Berlin. It's a very deep work of liberating our ability to express ourselves, to meet ourselves and to express ourselves with all of its complexities and imperfections and beauty and reflection that is in that. And today is the last day of the workshop. We have a 3-hour session, and then we're opening the doors, the group of 80, we're opening the doors for whoever feels like joining us. It's a open to the public, donation-based event, a singing circle. So all this energy is right now kind of, I see this huge wave coming my way, and it's very nice to, as I said, to take this moment in the midst of all that. Right now, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Creating moments, that's something I feel like you're very good at. And it already has some momentum in the spiritual community for tonight. I can tell you that from all the groups I'm in. So
nice, beautiful.
Coming. And someone said it's the best singing circle in the year.
Wow.
In Berlin. And there's a lot of singing circles happening here. So can you let us know about that magic? How does it work for you? What does it take to create these special moments?
So I wouldn't use the word to create. I would use the word to invoke. There's something special happening between us right now, also between us and the ones who are watching this later, even though they're not now here, they're here, here. And there's something happening within this collective that is generating a field of consciousness, of awareness, that we can tap into and awaken into it, or awaken, or let this awaken through us, because we're all cells in this collective moment. So I think the real magic is already there. And just to walk into the space and to be aware of that, and to point at that, say, hey guys, look, it's so wow, it's so precious and beautiful, and I see such incredible resonance with that, with the simplicity of that, wherever I go. Not using high words, not looking for complicated concepts, nothing, just pointing out the incredible qualities of life, of existence, the fact that we're here. I don't know anything, that's the truth. I have no idea. I'm figuring it out, I have theories, I'm trying to understand, but I don't know. Yet, we all sense that it's incredible. There's air to breathe, there's gravity to pull us down, there's the sun to heat us up, there's water to drink, there's hearts to meet, there are connections and relationships and lessons to be learned eternally. And there's just so much to be grateful for. And to invoke that. Any person, even if you're having the worst day of your life, you'll ask, if I will be able to create this moment of intimacy and ask you, what are you grateful for? You will find a bunch of stuff that you're grateful for. So I'm just pointing those things out. I'm not creating anything. And then by pointing it out, what is revealed is communion, is an existing communion. If it's a momentary thing, like right now our communion is, we're communing through this conversation. I don't know, an hour or an hour and a half, or as long as we have to talk. And then we're also communing through this incarnation, through life, through having a mother and a father and brothers and sisters and a piece of land where we were born and shaped by, and a society and relationships and children, and we have this is a communion. And then when we observe that communion together, there is an incredible ability for us to see the nature of that motion. Yeah? Because when I'm by myself and I hold it all within, then I see only my angle. I'm stuck in my box. And when we observe this together, we create a space where your observation on this and my observation of this are present, so we can see more. And also our connection, our relationship, doesn't matter how old it is, there's a DNA to our connection. And it's also a form of wisdom that exposes another aspect. Even if you and another person will meet to talk about the same thing exactly, it will be another entity that is observing, right? Your connection, your synergy of 1 + 1 is 3 will create a different shade of awareness. So this is what turns me on, really, just to kind of tickle this collective moment into awakening, so that we together can each individual in the organism can have a wider connection to the moment.
Thank you. I can't stop smiling. Because like you have a way with words, and you know, it's like you sing amazingly, and then in between you let us these short chunks of wisdom, right? So this is like an amazing combination. I studied philosophy, so that's something I really, wisdom, philosophy is the love of wisdom.
Yeah.
So I absolutely see that in you, and I think you said invoking or tickling out was also a word you used. In what ways are you tickling that out? So I think, or feel, or I know that a lot of it has to do with you embodying it, of course, right? Because in the end, it's about Uria as well. Like, how are you relating to yourself? How are you experiencing this incarnation? How are you structuring your day, maybe even, right? Because I feel like in the end, spirituality also comes down to very practical things. For instance, having a practice or a structure, right? I feel that's, for me, that's important. So I wonder, Uria, is there something in the background, like a spiritual practice, a daily routine that keeps you anchored into that frequency?
Dishes.
Dishes.
This is like the never-ending task of washing the dishes in the sink. It's my actual middle name is dishwasher, and and yeah. So this is something. This is a real good meditation. Driving is a good meditation. Also, just leaning into the moment, being in flow, in constant action, but in a state of trance. And if I want to go a bit more to actions of choice, because I don't have a choice but to do the dishes, you know. And then my relationship with my wife is my practice. We've been together for 18 years now, and this is the deepest temple I found so far to practice devotion. Because I'm constantly being challenged to meet the things that I don't feel like meeting, that I really would love to sweep under the carpet and say they're not there. But when I'm by myself, I can do this and look that way. But when she's around, I do this and I look that way, but she looks this way. She's like, "What did you do this?" I was, "Oh, this." And then shit, I have to deal with it. My neurosis, my habits, my addictions, my patterns, also my beauty, also my silliness, also everything. Yet the main work is out of my comfort zone, and to find, I think, long-lasting relationships are the best, the best kind of, or long-lasting committed relationships. So fatherhood, and business partnership, a relationship, an intimate, long-lasting relationship, monogamous or whatever. As long as it's consistent, because time does the work. Like we don't have. It's not like that I have a choice. Do I do spiritual work or not? This life is spiritual work, and you see the level of presence. I'm not talking about babies or kids up to the age of 2, where the presence is just, we're born Buddhas, and then we start closing down, and then you see that people go through lifetime, and the older a person is, the more mature a person is, the longer they had to experience these lives and to receive lessons and to learn things. And so I think time in consistency is the spiritual practice. And I think I've seen that in an early point in my life, early-ish. And when I chose to, I was 31, I think, or when I realized, wait, music is my thing, and I'm devoting myself to that. And then it changed form many times, and by now I understand that it's not really music which is my thing. My thing is this, is the connection, is the observation that music allows myself and my wider self to obtain.
Do you think that is because music doesn't have to go via the mind, but goes directly through frequency and reaches us at points where we maybe
Also,
take a longer time in different...
Yeah, also it's bypassing when we sing anyway we sing constantly. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Right? Every word we say is a song. Every sentence we say is a song. And music just keeps us more connected to the deeper element of communication. My concept, the thing that I'm trying to transfer to you goes more through my texture of voice than through the words that I choose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you can elaborate a little more on your connection to your wife and how you do it actually, because I absolutely like what you say about long-term committed relationships, be it a relationship to music, right, which is also kind of a relationship to one's craft or art, to people, to a business, to a topic or something that we dive deep into, and then being mirrored again and again and spiraling up on the healing ascension or enlightenment journey, or however you want to call it. And so, has your wife always been an enlightened spiritual teacher to guide you like that, or is it about mirroring each other?
I think the feminine is an enlightened spiritual teacher. The feminine quality, that is a cyclic quality connected to the cycles of nature, more grounded into the way this world is than the masculine, which is, my tendency, I'm speaking very, very, very wide, and there are so many exceptions, I'm just speaking of the general element, it can be also in the body of a woman, the masculine approach. So the masculine is so, I can live within a vision and draw my nourishment to some extent from my vision. I can be suffering in the now, but super stoked about what's coming, you know? And the embodied feminine would be like, whatever, you have this like stadium, many people singing, whatever. But now, where are you? I'm like, no, I don't have time for this. I'm busy building the stadium. she's like, but where are you? And then I'm being dragged back into the now. Dragged back into the now. I don't have a choice. So I see that again, the spiritual journey is not something we choose. I don't choose to be a spiritual practitioner. By showing up in this world, I don't have a choice but to be a spiritual practitioner. There's a set of rules that apply to everyone. The laws of attraction, the gravity, the way that energy works in physics, in biology, and in spirituality. There's an order to think, and I have to learn it through experience, because it's not written. It's written in some books, yet the books are also heavily manipulated and corrupt. So it's to listen to the books, but to read between the lines and to take what's so there's a constant learning curve that is happening here.
So you speak about manipulated or corrupted books. I wasn't sure if I wanted to bring up religion. But yeah, you grew up in Israel, right?
Yeah.
So I spoke to Naftali once about rituals, and I feel like, there's this Naftali, Uria, then there's Tori, then there's Orca, and you guys seem to have a certain quality of creating rituals, and through rituals invoking or tickling out the moments, right? And Naftali said to me, it's probably because he grew up in this Orthodox Jewish environment, so he got a sense of how to create rituals or how to hold them. What's your background? What's your spiritual, religious background that maybe kind of still inspires you today?
Yeah.
Maybe not content-wise, but from a craftsmanship perspective, from perspective of the crafts of the thing.
Well, both my parents were born in Jerusalem. My mother to a Jewish family that immigrated to Israel from Yemen after the Second World War, and my father's side from a family that came from Poland after the Second World War. And my parents met there. My mother's family, Orthodox, religious, very traditional, My father's family lost faith in God after the Holocaust, completely atheist. And there was so much influence from the families that I missed, because my parents, they met in Jerusalem and they left, and we were born in the Golan. I was born in the Golan Heights. So I had the influences of Israel, and I didn't have the traditional influences. My mother's family, they all became Orthodox religious. They only went deeper and deeper into the Orthodox world. But I didn't have any of that around me. Like our connection kind of faded out. And they're amazing people that I love. Yeah, it's just the nature of things and how it became. So I wasn't born like our brother Naftali into an Orthodox family. I saw it around me. I had more rejection from it growing up. Like, okay, what's that thing? Like, it's weird. And my father was against it, and my mother was like, yeah, whatever. She was into spirituality, but not into religion. She took a lot of wisdom. She still is taking a lot of wisdom from religion. Yeah, and the ritual I grew up on was the Western paradigm, you know, of school ceremonies, of like in Israel. So you have the Holocaust ceremony and the Independence Day, and you have the Jewish holidays, Passover stuff. But we never went into the depth of it. It was always, for me, it was something kind of very on the surface, and only later in my life I started kind of checking into the depth of Judaism and Kabbalah, and into meditation and medicine work and tribalism, shamanism, anarchism, rainbow movement, all kinds of like so. And then I picked from here and from there. I saw elements that touched my heart. And then being also trained as a musician, to some extent, I wasn't fully devoted. I studied saxophone when I was a teenager, and I picked up the guitar when I was 20. So knowing that, the approach to music, and then playing in a reggae band for a while, so knowing how to work with sound systems and how to play with the band, and then how to work with the audience, and then I saw singing circles. I discovered that, and I'm constantly, and it's like, oh wow, wait, there's an open source space here for creating ceremony, for invoking ceremony between people, for practicing spirituality, but it doesn't belong to the Jewish, it doesn't belong to the Christian, to the Hindus, to anyone. It's something more ancient, more old, and we can tap into it and invite everyone, and it's all amazing. It's all great. It's just go for it, explore it. And when we hit the spot, a sweet spot of togetherness or of moving right with the collective harmony, then everybody feels it. There's no book saying, no, you have to do this first and then that and then this. No, you have to just jump in and move there, and here we go. Now there's unity. Now we can feel it, and then we just linger in it. So it's kind of, looking for the lost wisdom of how to gather, of how to commune. So I've had just little influences from here and from there. It's been around, but I think it's around all of us. It's in Christianity as well. It's in the way that we function as a society, because all of our structures are built on from the building blocks of the human consciousness, and the human consciousness has that in it. So it's just a matter of digging deep enough.
And taking away the barriers, right? Which can also be brought up by religion sometimes. I think religion sometimes stands more in the way of getting
observing the barriers. Observing, because the barriers are everywhere. My consciousness, the nature of my being is separation, is a barrier, is a set of shells that are separating me from you. and then working with the duality of our unity versus our individuality. So it's not about removing the dark side. It's not about removing separation, getting rid of the ego. It's all about how do I dance in balance between those polarities.
Beautifully said. Thank you for that. And it's funny because the bells of the church rang. I don't know if anyone heard it when you said including everyone, and that's when the bells rang. And you used words like unity, creating unity, and I think that's a beautiful approach to use elements of religions, shamanisms, all those traditions, because I feel like it's just a toolbox, right? And we have so many different toolboxes, be it Judaism, Christianity, shamanism, and we can use all the tools today and create new ones, and then you bring in music, and then you understand, okay, there's
sound systems. So suddenly we can hold this frequency for tens of thousands of people, and the sound reaches everyone. And I don't have to go, listen! I can go, listen. There's something I want to... I'm inviting us to observe.
So it's like an amazing new possibility also for spirituality, just as long as we don't fall into the trap. And I think that's why many people have a problem with religion nowadays, because, I mean, every religion has a part of it that excludes others, right? And I think that's where you know, a lot of spiritual people, many people in general have a problem with religion. And that's also where I wouldn't go along.
Corrupt religion has a part that excludes other. The essence of religion is love, unity, metaphorically speaking. You know, we just had this alternative Passover ceremony up in Costa Rica with the community that lives in the neighborhood where I live right now, and it's talking about the Exodus, the Israelites being slaves to the Egyptians, and then Moses and Pharaoh, and crossing the Red Sea into the desert on the way to the Promised Land. This whole story, and this story is a metaphor. It's a metaphor. The Pharaoh is an internal element which enslaves me to my comfort zone and to a place that I'm used to do, so it's easy, but I'm a slave to. I'm working hard, but it's not relevant anymore, and I need to scream and to say enough, and to cross the Red Sea, to take a leap of faith through an unimaginable barrier, only in order to arrive to the desert, into the unknown, where I will linger for 40 years before arriving to the Promised Land. And this is an internal motion that we do. So, and this is where the religion is pointing at. It's not like a history that's something that happened and now we have to respect it. It's something that is happening. You know, the fact that Jesus was crucified and he said, this is for the sins of everyone. Every sacrifice every one of us does is in the name of humanity. I am a cell of humanity. I am a voice of humanity. I am the ears of humanity, as are you. And when I heal something inside of me, humanity heals something inside of it. And all religions are pointing at that, but it's so easy to manipulate and move that around to look like, no, he did this for you, and now you have to be eternally grateful. You know, or Moses was the incredible one that left Israel. But the name Moses is also Moshe in Hebrew, which is from the same root that because he was pulled out of the Nile. Yeah, he was thrown into the Nile in a little carrier. Because there was story, and then the daughter of Pharaoh pulled him out of the Nile, and it's also a metaphor to how we are as humans, as the human consciousness. You are pulled out of unity into the separation, so you can look at unity. So it's all profoundly metaphorical, and it's a beautiful reminder just not to be too deeply identified with the self. The self it's incredible and it's once in a universe, and this voice needs to be heard. Okay, this voice was made to be heard. It was made to be heard. And in the same time, this voice is an expression of something profound and magnificent that is ongoing. That's my take on religion.
Thank you.
And I have a lot to learn still.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly, and in the same way, the rigidity of it, okay, like the stiffness and serious way in which it's holding on to tradition and which is so annoying and meets my anarchist with so much resistance, is also what kept it secure for thousands and thousands of years, so that now I can tap in to its source of wisdom. So I also respect the rigidity of it. It had to be that way. In order for me to be able to talk about Jesus, I had to have like the whole church infrastructure system to protect that story that happened once. And the protection of it is so much suffering. It's such a dense, intense energy. And it's just like there's nowhere to go, man. There's nowhere to run. It's all incredible. It's all a part of it. And it's equally painful as it is pleasurable, and it's equally sad as it is joyous, and I can't take only the joy. I can't take only the light. I can't take only peace. I have to embrace also war. I have to embrace also bloodshed. I have to embrace also. I will do everything I can to relieve suffering. I will do everything in my power to relieve suffering. It doesn't mean I don't respect the nature that is. And if we've arrived there, okay, there's a purpose. It's painful, yet there's a purpose.
That brings us to a super interesting point, internally and externally, right? Because what you said is it's not about hiding the darkness or pushing it away. Darkness is a part of existence. It's part of the oneness of the unity, right? And that seems a hard pill to swallow. It seems a little hard to accept, and you seem to have gone a certain length with that idea of embracing that.
I'm working with it. It's not something I figured out.
Yeah.
It's easy to speak about this now in the temple of our mutual presence. Right? This is a spiritual sangha that we're holding between us. In the same way that the singing circles that we hold are a moment of a spiritual sangha that we're holding. And then it's easy to see the things that are unbearable. It's easier to look at the unbearable and to hold it with compassion. Yet, it's still, all my neurosis is still there. Everything. It's not, I didn't manage to get rid of my I'm just every time I meet it, I try to stay present, to stay as loving as I can, so that I can work with it. And underneath any layer that I clean, I just meet another layer that's a bit more subtle, yet it's as shocking as as the one before it. It's like, oh no! Another round. I refined myself, so now this one doesn't have. But now I'm refined. So something that I didn't even notice before is like, oh my God! It's like moving from. It's like changing your diet, and like eating meat and wild food combinations. And then after a while you stop eating meat. You only eat fish, and you manage and then you can't go back immediately, at least, to eating meat. Yeah, it will be too coarse for your. But then noticing that this kind of fish makes your belly go like this, and this kind of fish makes you become more and more sensitive. So as in our body, also our consciousness, it's like that. But it's an infinite journey.
It's eternal fine-tuning.
Yeah.
So creation wants to do, obviously.
Yeah.
It seems like that.
Yeah. I think if we manage to tune it completely, we vanish. Because what holds this reality is its polarity. It has to stay polar in order for me and you to have this conversation and not to be one divine soup.
It would be just light.
It would just light.
I mean, sometimes it would be nice to just rest for a second. We'll get there.
Yeah, there are moments, there are glimpses. There are glimpses of and then it has to be something that's like, I'm not. It's like, it's here right now. It will go away soon. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. The moment something incredible, this too shall pass. Just to make sure that.
I just read something super interesting when it comes to this idea. I mean, we could talk about this on a spiritual level, on the political level as well, when it comes to prophecy and religions taken too literally and everything. But also on the hormonal level is that I just read that when we get a dopamine hit, a small one, then immediately our body crafts the other side as a response to it, so that it zeroes it out. So it's literally our body does this on a hormonal level as well, to create this dialogue and this balance in the end. Yes. So maybe balance is a good way to go to approach this. Yeah. We need balance for this. So you spoke about the embodied feminine, right? And how her power is more connected to the cycles of nature. She's somehow more there, more connected to this, and she reminds you of that inside of you as well. Can you talk to me about the embodied masculine? What does it take from a man or from the masculine to being a proper counterpart to that embodied femininity?
Wow. Disclaimer, I don't know. That's headline and bottom line. I don't know. I'm figuring it out as I go. And I'm realizing that there are many paths to each craft. The path that I chose is to be in service to the feminine. And the feminine, for me, when I say feminine, I mean something that is cyclic, that is very present in the now, that is not always explaining why the right way is this way, but it's just saying, hey, there. Or hey, notice, now deal with that. Why? Because this is what rises. And then later on I see how it protects me and how it guides me in the right direction. Because when I make a projection with my mind as a masculine, I have a vision, and I go towards that vision. I cannot contain, even if my mind is super sharp and I'm highly experienced and evolved, I still cannot see a fraction of the amount of variables in the equation that will create that reality that I am assuming. It's an idea. And I think that through the feminine, that the feminine has, because of its connection to the greater field, it has a way, it has kind of a link to the information. Is this a right choice or not? Right? So if I have a vision like, honey, listen, I'm going to open this new project with this amazing band, and it's going to be da 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 da. And she goes like, I'm like, no, but why? It's an amazing. It's just like, I don't know. I just don't feel so. I will listen to that. I will listen. I will pause for a moment and I will listen. I will wait. Yeah. And if I see a shine in her eye, I will follow. You know, I learn through her, and in all of my global projects, business projects, in almost all of them, I always partner up with also at least one woman in the inner circle, and I listen to her input beyond, of course, the cognitive and the experiential and the professional side of things that we all hold. I'm also very attentive to her intuition, to the feminine intuition. And I see that when I listen to the feminine intuition, when I follow her guidance, which is a subtle guidance, it's not, she won't tell me, hey, you need to go this way. No, I need to figure out where I need to go, and then she will go like, nah, or, yeah, okay. You know, it's very subtle, yet, and I'm very, very attentive to that, because I trust in this embodied wisdom. And in the same way, when I lead a singing circle, I come with an idea. Okay, this is my singing, or a workshop, or a session. I come with an idea, yet eventually the moment will communicate with me, with subtle movements, with sounds coming from the area, and I'm listening to the feminine quality. Because I can take the moment and say, no, now we're moving to this part, and now we're moving to this part, and I can force a moment into a certain pattern, into a certain agenda. And it will be amazing. It will be great. We'll have a great experience. Yet when I listen to the moment and I'm willing to I come with my agenda, I need to hold a structure, yet I'm willing in every moment to leave that and to flow with her guidance, with her, the mutual presence. So this is my way as masculine to show up fully in leadership and to be constantly ready to let go of all my ideas and to listen to her and to where she takes me. So, yeah, and I don't know if this is the right way. I know it's a right way for me, and it works. It works for me. It's been guiding me through.
You seem to be quite good. There's a frequency of calmness and joy and love when I'm meeting you. So I think that speaks for your method. And I feel like both of these qualities are alive inside of me as well, right? The feminine and the masculine. And I figured out that as a man, I want to connect to my feminine, which is for me that kind of centeredness and presence and openness and surrender to what's coming in, to the signals, right? I think it's interesting because what you described also as a man, like listening, being attentive, being open, right? Also sounds a lot like a feminine quality in a way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you experience that dance, that dialogue inside of yourself between those qualities?
So I think the masculine side is the part that takes care of the infrastructure. And I make sure to create, so if I want to open a temple for the feminine to be revealed as an intimate encounter between me and my wife, or a workshop for 80 people, I need to create a very masculine structure, saying, okay, it's a 3-day workshop, and here's the financial agreement for us to create commitment from the participants to show up again and again and again, even though they're going to go through a process that maybe at the end of the first day, they're going to be like, wow, that's a lot, you know? So creating a structure that allows the person to, also financially, because the person, like, I paid 250, 300 euros for this weekend, I'm going to show up for the second day. I'm not going to just throw it away. Let's give it a chance. So it's something that helps the person come. Or by saying a few words in the beginning, saying, hey, you are going to meet intensity. Be ready for it. It's okay. You're going to meet this, and when you meet this, this is your portal towards the unknown. It has to go outside of your comfort zone. So when you're meeting this moment where you're really uncomfortable, rejoice, be grateful, and show up. So this is a masculine quality, And then within, and then I jump in. I don't know what is the thing that is going to rise. I show up completely open and reactive to the moment, and embracing the moment, and compassionate and nourishing the moment. Even if the moment is a person standing up and saying, I don't like the way that you facilitate. How can I, and the feminine side will be nourishing. Say, well, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. Please share more. And then you give, and then more space is given to that. And then it can be vocalized. And then at some moment we let go of the story. Okay, yeah, right now it's projected at me. Yet right now you're feeling. What is it that you're feeling? Frustration, anger. What's the sound of that? Let's sing that. Let's give frustration and anger room, because it's something we meet constantly, and we constantly push it, tuck it under, when actually it's a legitimate part of being human. And how can I be free? This is why the vocal freedom. How can I be free also in that aspect of myself? And this is a very feminine quality, to be there nourishing and accepting. And then the masculine quality, the sound system has to be set up in the right way. So when I say something, it reaches. And the church, we have to find a room that will be nice and warm and safe, so that we can do the work. So this is the dance between masculine and feminine. As a family in my home, there's my needs, there's my wife's needs, the space that we need, the time that we need to create together. So to find a way to weave in the masculine and feminine is something we have to do constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Creating the container.
Creating the container, and then letting the divine fill it, letting the feminine fill it up. You know.
Time to enjoy.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. Again, so much wisdom, and it's amazing that you figured that out 16 years ago, or to a degree.
I didn't. We went through some tough shit, like some really tough times, man. Like those. In the relationship, in my career, in everything, it was. It's like I spit a lot of blood to realize these things. Mm-hmm. It's something that, and I think we all have to. Mm-hmm. We resonate with it when we meet it. I've read these words. You said that the last podcast you did was with the composer of Conversations with God. So I read this book when I was in the middle of my military service, my mandatory military service in Israel. And it opened my mind, it opened my heart. It was mind-blowing to see that, to read these words and to acknowledge these concepts and this personal connection to the divine. Wow. And I recognize it, yet I was far from living it. And I had to go through a lot, and I still am. And I still am. And I think I forever will be.
It's funny because Neil, who wrote those books, he's also saying like that sometimes when he's not there and he's with his family, they go send him to read one of his own books. He's also very authentic.
Here, have some of your own medicine.
Yeah. It's so funny that you two share this connection and you're the two guests now. So
yeah, if you see this, thank you, Neil. You're
Thanks,
an amazing
Neil.
human. Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
It's wow. It ripples onwards.
Yeah. I'm not sure he watches all the podcasts that even he is on. But
maybe we can send him just a snippet.
Yeah, we will. We will. Yeah, and he spoke about, like his last book, for instance, was How to Talk to God. So he kind of gave a manual, and one of the first steps was to acknowledge that you can, right? That everyone has, it's open source.
Yeah.
It's like we all have the connection. And there's sometimes this, and Neil just did it. He said, right, I have a conversation with God, and that seems to be bold, and oh wow, now you're the Messiah. Or it's like we all have this connection. It's just like, there's this weird moment of I don't know if it's shame or false humility or whatever, that sometimes we pretend we don't have it, but actually everybody is a channel for it, right? So how can we get each other into saying, yeah, we all have this conversation with God right now, and it's fine, it's cool, and what are you saying and me, and then we have a common conversation. What's that kind of strange blockage that keeps us from admitting that, yeah, of course we're connected to God? I mean,
I think it's fundamental. We have to be disconnected. We have to believe that we're disconnected. It's not a problem. It's what it is. And then from this field of being completely blocked and shut down within the individual, when I have a little glimpse of like, it creates this, oh my God, this is, and I think this is existence having an orgasm, you know. This is what existence feels. Communion. This is existence being ecstatic, you know, realizing we forgot in order to remember. And remembering is so incredible because we forgot, you know, and pleasure is so amazing because there is suffering, and or pain. So it's okay. And then together we can tap in. This is the beautiful fruition of communion. When we move together, it's easier to speak these things that we all know. It's common sense. That I do not choose my desires, I do not choose my dreams, I do not choose my passions, my abilities, my family. I'm born into this thing, and I get to live it and observe it as it's unfolding from within me. What is the next word? I don't know. I'm just going with it, man. It's just, so who is the one that is going with it? Life is going with itself through me. There's a profound, profound connection to the divine at any given moment. It's there. Everything is nature creating itself, speaking to itself, listening to itself. And when we're together, we can just for a moment hold that. We can stabilize. Our mutual presence stabilizes our ability to be with that. Very easily, much easier than to sit down alone on a mountain and meditate for a very long. It's easier together. You can stay like that, you know, and have a hamburger and then sit together and it opens.
Interesting. It's easier in community and in connection.
Yes. I think some things can only be done together. Can only be some also emotionally, so looking at trauma work. Some painful experience can only be tapped into, held by a circle. Some things that alone I will never be able to reach. And with a friend listening to me, or if it's something super intense, then with a group holding me, I can tap into that. We can work through it. The Jewish, there's like the holy book of the Torah, which is seen as something that holds a lot of light, a lot of divine light. And you cannot take it out of its cabinet without at least 10 people in the room.
Really?
Yeah. You have to have, it's called a minyan. Minyan, which means a count of people, and you have to have at least 9 people, you cannot take it out.
So you cannot read the Torah?
You cannot read from this book. Like you can read the smaller books, if you want, by yourself. If you want to take it, it's a big scroll. Yeah? Okay. If you want to take this book out and read in it, you know, from someone that wrote it, because the Hebrew letters are graphic symbols. They hold a lot of power. I believe so. Like many other symbols, like the flower of life, or the seed of life, or the Star of David, or a pyramid, or like there's shapes that are holding certain frequencies, and the letters are holding very powerful frequencies. And in order to hold that light, you need to be at least 10 people together to be able to contain this light without burning an individual. So it's also there. Also ceremonies, they're being done together. You don't have a ceremony on your own. You can have a ceremony on your own. Yet A collective ceremony allows you to tap into things that are not available to you by yourself. We are not designed to live on our own. We are tribal creatures.
So I wonder, Uriah, we have this acceptance, and I loved your answer. You don't have to remember your God. You will either way, like it's designed that way for a purpose, so that existence can have this orgasm.
Yeah.
That happens itself. And then, you can come to this total, deep acceptance of what's happening inside of us, inside of our lives, inside of the world as well. And then there's still suffering, and then I feel coming from that piece is actually, then there's still love. There's like, when I get into this thing, then it's a form of loving it all, right? So that's how for me, inside of myself, I know that God is love, because when I rest with all of it, then I'm still love. It's encompassing all of it. And then it's becoming a little bit a question, and probably that's listening again, right? And being present and feeling what feels right now. Then how do we act in the world? How do we take part in that theater or in that dance? Because we know maybe what we do will cause a reaction on the opposite part of the spectrum, right? So I guess I have given myself the answer right now that you would give, being open to the signals and just feel what feels right. And I would like to have your perspective on something, on a project I'm doing. It's called Political Healing. It's about going into the public space, doing public rituals. So the first one was the world hug. We said we're going to break the world record for the biggest group hug next to the German parliament. We didn't break this one, but then it became the record for the most beautiful group hug in that moment. We broke that one. And the last time we installed a light pillar for healing and love into Alexanderplatz, and kind of like carrying spiritual frequencies or stuff that happens inside of these closed rooms right now, carrying it into the public space. Just in order to make it available, making an offer to public collective consciousness, right? Not to convince or anything, but just to embody and making a frequency available in a space like Alexanderplatz or next to the German Chancellery, right? The Chancellor's office, where it maybe normally isn't found that much, right? Like the things we create.
I'm not sure that it's not found. It's there. The secretary in the office of the Chancellor is fond of certain aspects of the Chancellor. And maybe the guy that brings the mail has a smile when he enters the room, and he brings some warmth into the heart of the Chancellor. And then there's kindness and love and affection everywhere. And it doesn't matter how much love, because there can always be more. And if there can always be more, then it doesn't matter how far we went. It's an infinite thing. Those little bits of love mean the world. And it's okay to choose to incarnate into a place that is very rigid and structured. It's okay. It's holding a certain frequency. In the same way that we were speaking about religion, how the rigidity of monasteries and the Vatican and the politics and the money and the armies and the wars and all of that carried somehow the spirit of Jesus through 3,000 years. 2027. Anyway, but it took it all the way. So I don't feel the need to alter that. There's no need to alter that. There's a deep form of respect to that. And then there's also the playfulness of what turns me on. And what turns me on are group hugs and singing circles.
Yeah. Public rituals.
Public rituals,
It's
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, and I think, and I know that everything that I do ripples out. It doesn't matter if I do. Sometimes if I do it very close to a place that is like, it's like there's the house rules, right? If I walk into a restaurant with only my boxers on, it's like I'm expressing my freedom to be as I am. Right? It's like a bathing suit. I'm not naked, just with my boxers, but I'm hurting the house rules, you know. And if I'm in a, I don't know, Tantra festival and I'm going into the chai shop with my boxers on, they'll be like, oh, you're so sweet, you know. It'll be okay, we'll be welcomed, and this will be a gesture that will be received with love. So the question is, can my gesture be received with love, or will it create contraction and further separation? And how can I still come close and be totally myself and keep an open heart is mastery. That is very intriguing of how to create.
Yeah, and keeping an open heart in the face of what we call politics, right? Because there's, I mean, this...
It's me.
Yeah.
I am the politician. I'm the human race. I am the... I am, if I want to be vulgar, then I am the finger pressing a trigger, and I am the body receiving the bullet. I am all of it. And if I would have been born in the shoes of the counselor, I would have done the same. And if I was born in the shoes of the soldier, I would have done the same. And if I was born in the shoes of the... It goes on for... It's all me.
Yeah.
And it's all holding a certain journey of evolution. I'm not here to change it. And I know that with my actions, I can relieve suffering. I can help and relieve suffering. Not all of it, not because suffering is wrong, just because it's a kind thing to do. So my question is my action relieving suffering, or is it creating more suffering? And this is why in a very early moment of my career, because in the beginning when we started having singing circles of 2,000 people, you know, the full Orot band, 6 musicians, our own sound engineer, going into a festival and 2,000 people singing together with incredible devotion. And we can change the world! This is an incredible technology! We need to grow this! We need to bring more people! And I became a politician of singing circles. And I became a missionary, which is disrespectful. It's disrespectful. And going that way for a while, I started receiving feedbacks from life by things not working, getting stuck, you know, angry people showing up in my field, which I was like, no, but this guy is completely square. Of course he's angry. But I provoked the person because I showed up saying, I know better than you how you should be. And the fact is, like we started the conversation, I don't know how you should be. I know that you are. So respectfully, I observe. And I know that I am, and respectfully, I create spaces with my masculine quality where I can shine in my delicateness and my juice and my thing, you know? So how can I create space for myself to fully be and respect all that surrounds me to make this action an action that doesn't create suffering.
Yeah.
That is bringing more goodness to the world, and it's an art. I'm still learning.
It's a fine line, right?
It's a very fine line.
It's a very fine line between embodying and convincing or being a missionary, right?
Yeah, because convincing is ego tripping. I know better than... It's ego tripping.
Yeah.
I know better than others.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make you know. I'm going to show you. It's like, no, I don't know. I think that. Feel like talking? No, okay.
Yeah.
And if I come dressed up like this, do you feel like talking? Yeah, okay, let's talk. Respectfully. It's like, what can I do to help? To help the intimacy, so that we can be vulnerable and authentic together. How can I build trust? For this, I need the masculine quality of building trust. And how can I build trust? I've been talking to this incredible guy, Rob Walsh, his name is, and I was looking for somebody, a strategist, to help me kind of observe this global thing that is happening in my life, and how can I build it in the right way. And the first thing he asked me was, what is your purpose? It's like, yeah, my vision is to create a big, no, not your vision. What is your purpose? What is the sentence? It's like a 6 to 8 word sentence that has the qualities, that holds in it the quality that is always existing in anything that you do. And then the sentence that came up was to invoke acceptance. So not to create, to invoke acceptance, to accept myself, to accept the way things are, intimacy, authenticity, vulnerability, which require trust, and harmony, which is an existing thing. There's harmony between us. We're both looking for it. You don't create it, I don't create it. It's
we're finding it.
We're finding it, exactly. So to invoke acceptance, intimacy, and harmony in the collective field.
Acceptance, intimacy.
Yeah? And then from that, it really helped me kind of, okay. And now does this vision align with that? Am I really invoking acceptance? Am I accepting right now, or am I? Because the vision that I have is to summon a critical mass of people, to have 150,000 people singing together in the coherence of heart, observing our unity. This is a vision. And then with my purpose, I constantly protect it, making sure that I'm not doing this in order to change the world. I'm doing this just because I love this game. It's a fun thing to do. It turns me on, you know. And then can I do it in a way that still respects everybody else? There's not saying I'm not trying to change you into another place. I just feel like awakening with more people.
It's beautiful what you say, that you're not trying to change the world anymore, but you're trying to accept the world. So it's about accepting the world and not changing the world.
Yeah.
Love that. I think it's a beautiful bottom line for that conversation for now, because I would love to continue someday, hopefully. But you're heading off to your workshop in a few minutes. I want to thank you for the conversation. It has been so amazing so far.
For me too.
Thanks for finding that harmony together. And just is there any last thing you would like to share to wrap this up? Anything that still wants to be expressed? Do you want to make accessible an invitation? Whatever it is.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being present in this conversation. Like we said earlier, your presence is felt here and is stabilizing this conversation, allowing us to reach places that would have not been available to us without your presence. Even though right now it's still a potential, it's to some extent felt and is meaningful here. So thank you for watching. If you feel like joining things that I do, then I'm a very easy fellow to find. And I'm constantly giving offerings of exactly that we've been talking about. And I'm always excited to meet new people and to dive into the spaces. Just a disclaimer, I'm not here to teach you anything. I'm just a fellow student that meets you in a space where we can learn together. So excited for days to come. And thank you again, Yoshka. And I can't wait to sing together in the church in a few moments. Yes. You're joining us for the session?
Yes, of course, if I may.
Yes. Yes, it would be incredible.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward.
Yes.
My kids are coming as well to sing a circle. I really want them to experience this. It's going to be amazing. Would you like to close this off?
Thank you.
Thank you, Uria.
My pleasure.
Where you can find him, I will link all of that in the video. And thank you so much for taking time.
Cheers.